Glitter Gang. How's it going? It's 9 o'clock on Thursday, October 1st. And we are going to be continuing the Halloween folio triptych. And this is a YouTube project. So where eventually all the videos for this project are going to end up as recordings on my YouTube channel. So this afternoon we used TIMEZONE to connect 3 pieces of cardstock together to make one long piece of cardstock, which we're going to use to cover our easels. And what they've been drying. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim this into an actual rectangle, and I'm going to do the put the white gel pen where the white gel pen needs to go. Then I'll say hi to everyone, but this is going to be how we take this and the chipboard from earlier and we make an easel. That's going to be tonight's class. This will be 2 hours. 2 hours. Okay. So this white line needs to extend all the way across. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to avoid anywhere there's TIMEZONE because, well, I don't think the white gel pen is going to work on TIMEZONE, to be totally honest. To be totally honest. So this is... yeah, it's not sticking to the TIMEZONE, but that's okay. So yeah, we are going to make a Halloween folio to hold your photos, but we're also going to make it into a triptych, which is a type of art. It's basically an art in 3 pieces. It's meant to be displayed somewhere. Usually they're hinged, so you can set them on display. So we're going to do that. We're going to find a way to turn a folio into a triptych. I'm going to decorate it for Halloween, but if you don't celebrate Halloween, it's not shaped like a pumpkin or anything, or a haunted house or anything, so you could use this for another holiday that you do celebrate. Okay. My hand is hurting. It's very annoying. I think it's just... I'm going to blame Tiny Cat. I use Uniball Signo gel pens. They come in 2 sizes. This is the broad. There's one that's like Angel or something, which is their ultra fine one, and I don't like it as much. So it's, yeah, the Uniball Signo, manufactured by Mitsubishi. The Mitsubishi Pencil Co. Limited, made in Japan. All right, so what am I doing now? Let's say hi. Let's say hi to everybody. All right. Blame Tiny after all the work she's done today. Okay. Greetings, Glitter Gang. If you can read in the chat where I just typed, if you can read this, you are not in a cornfield, then congratulations, you are not in a cornfield. If you do not see where I've typed in the chat, if you can read this, you're not in a cornfield with 3 ghosts. You may be in a cornfield. We did have a cornfield earlier this afternoon. I was trapped in the cornfield, which really should not be possible, but here we are. So obviously earlier this afternoon, it was the worst cornfield I've had. So, you know, obviously this afternoon when I said I was 99.99% sure I had solved the cornfield issue, YouTube was like, that's cute. So here we are. So Good evening, everyone. Welcome to you all. I'm going to say hi to Priya, who was the first person to find her way out of a cornfield. She and I were in the same cornfield. So at least it was a cornfield with friends. Bev was also there, but she made her way out too. They both made their way out before I did. It was easier for them to get out of the cornfield than it was for me. Fran says, yay, it's Thursday night and I'm here with my friends. Welcome, Fran. Kathryn says, happy Thursday. Candy says, happy Thursday. Vicky says, good evening, everyone. Melanie says she's not late for a change, so welcome on time, Melanie. Lori says, hey. Donna says, hi. She finally made her way out of the cornfield. Barbara Jean says, howdy. Hello to Cindy and to Gretchen, who's watching on the TV until hubby gets home. Mary says, we're live now. We're making a Halloween portfolio, catching Lori up on what we're doing. Carol Joan, hello, how are you? 09 Klaatu, welcome to you. And Deb, hello, hello. Dee Dee, how's it going? Hello to all of you, to Joyce and to Jill. Jill is morning for morning for Jill. Alice says hi. Same for Judy. Amethyst, greetings. What is the cornfield? The cornfield is sometimes YouTube will make two chats and put just a few people in one, and then everybody goes in the other one, and that's usually the one that I, as the broadcaster, can see. So we've named, like, years and years and years ago, we named the like chat where just a few people get trapped, the cornfield, because of like that that old Twilight Zone where the kid like does weird stuff to his family, and whenever he does, they're like, put it in the cornfield. So that's where that comes from. So that's where that comes from. So that's the cornfield. That's I think an old Ustream thing. So that's like that's a deep cut. Deep cut. All right, Lizzie Annie is here. Midi, welcome. Dance for Joy, hello. Okay, so here's what we're gonna, it is very scary if you're the only one there, it's true. All right, so earlier this afternoon, we created this wrapper for, hi Kimberly Brown. We created this wrapper for our easel. We're gonna make an easel. So let's start taking the next steps. I'm gonna lose the glove because it's a little bit easier for me to craft without it. And I am gonna take this 2-inch tape and I'm gonna go all the way around the outside of this. It's a little awkward to work with because it's, 2 feet long, but over. The cats are fighting. They have to just be punks all the time. You guys could just love each other. Have you thought about that? You wish I carried the 2-inch in the shop? We used to, but no one ever bought it. I was the only one who used it. That's why Mr. Lifeguard angrily put all these 2-inch tapes in my office. So we do have some. We do have some. You could email Mr. Lifeguard and ask him nicely to sell it again. They're like, we're not going to be nice. That's boring. We're not going to be nice kitties. Okay, so that's the first step. We're going to go around the whole outside with this. Then we're going to get our chipboard pieces. And let me tell you the sizes of these. Okay, so this is our spacer. It is just 4 pieces of 2 by 6 chipboard glued together. So it's 4, and this is what we need to make spaces between our pieces. Then we have 2 8.5 by 11 pieces of chipboard. I'm going to put tape on the back of them. And then these, we're going to put tape on the back of them as well, but we'll just use a smaller tape. I tell you what, maybe what we'll do is do something with 2-inch tape for Scrappy Bowl. So maybe we'll make a bundle for Scrappy Bowl that's a mixture. Because usually we just do all... like all of this size or all of that size. So maybe we'll do a special mixed bundle for Scrappy Bowl with like 1/4 inch, 3/8 inch, and 2 inch. And just like 1 roll of the big one, because you don't really need, you know, you don't need a lot of the 2 inch compared to the 3/8 and the 1/4 inch. So we could do 6 rolls. It could be 2 1/4 inches, 3 3/8, and 1 2 inch. It will be the most scrappy. It will be the most boring Super Bowl next year. If they cancel the Super Bowl for some reason, because who even knows about anything at this point, we will still have a celebration. We'll just call it something else, or we'll just call it Scrappy Bowl, because whatever. Yeah, we'll just have fun without them. Yeah, we'll just call it Scrappy Bowl, and we'll just make up a signature cocktail. And we won't worry about teams. So, but yeah, we're going to do it no matter what. So you have that to look forward to no matter what. Scrappy Bowl will not be canceled, even if the Super Bowl is canceled. So no worries there. Okay, now once I've got all these pieces taped, we need to place our magnets, and we're gonna have to do some measuring, unfortunately. Okay, all right, so we've got all our pieces, but we need to do our magnets, and the magnets go... Okay, so I'm just going to roughly lay these pieces out where this is their sort of final configuration. So the magnets go on this piece and on this piece, on this end. So what we need to do is we need to put them in the same place where they're going to go. And they're actually going to go on the inside, and the inside is the side that doesn't have the tape. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to measure. This piece is 2 inches, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line 1 inch in, And then let's do from the small sides, let's do 1.5 inches in. Okay. And then same thing on this end. We're going to do 1 inch in and 1.5 inches in. Okay, now we want to make sure that, and they'll be laid out like this, okay? So what we want to do is we want to make sure, wait, no. They're like this, right? So this goes like this goes like this, and then this one is like this. Yeah, they got to go on the outside actually. We're going to have to tape over the magnets once we glue them down. And then this one goes on the upside. Okay, I'm going to put magnets on both sides, I think, just in case, just so it's super strong, super strong. So yeah, I'm just going to now take glue dots and put them here, here, and then we'll tape over the magnets. Here, here, glue dots. And I'll just do 1/2 inch to 1/2 inch. And we'll be all good. Okay. So get your 1/2 inch magnets, which if they're anything like mine are stuck to your big bite. And then we're going to have to do polarity. I have to think about polarity. We need the not red side to stick to these. So this is the underside is going to touch. So we need to do red side down on the other one. Red side down on the other one. Red side up on one, red side down on the other. If you don't have, if your magnets polarity are not marked, then you can just do a Sharpie blob to help you, or just keep testing them by sticking them to each other. All right, so I just want to make sure that's correct. I'm going to just hold it. Yeah, they're pulling. We're all good. Okay, so now this needs, I'm going to actually write myself a note that says this side up so I don't mess up. And then I have to cover this with tape. All right, so I'm just going to give it one cover of the 2-inch tape. Just cover it all the way from edge to edge. And just flip it over And cut it. Okay. Now we're ready to stick it to the cardstock. Excitement! Is my hair short? Yes, I shaved my head. Shaved my head. I cut over 2 feet of hair off. Okay. Let me, I have to burnish this. Always burnish your tape. Make sure it's really well stuck down. It was very freeing. I did it because I was tired of having to like condition and detangle my hair every time I went swimming. That was the irritation. So that's why I did it. Because I found myself not going swimming when I wanted to go swimming. Because I didn't want to have to deal with my hair afterwards. So. Alright. Now. I'm gonna stick this down, but I'm not gonna touch it because I just want to see where I need to put my tape. Another piece of tape, I'm going to put it at the edge of the, that was just to eyeball because I want a piece of tape that stretches across the gap in between the two pieces. I have glued my fingers to the piece and also my arm. All right. So now I'm going to burnish that and then peel that tape. And now we're going to stick down the magnets. The magnets need to be touching the line. Okay, so the magnets, we're not going to stick it down because I didn't peel the tape off it. We're going to peel the tape off it. Then we're going to burnish the tape because let me just skip several steps and expect it to work. How about that? Peel the tape. All right. Once you've done that, now you can stick it down. Remember, the side with the magnets goes next on the line. All right. And now it's stuck down. And I'm going to go ahead and cover the magnets with some tape so I don't have to worry about them popping up before I'm ready for them to pop up, which would be never. So okay. Now, the next piece is going to go down. So we just need to place its tape. Okay, then we're going to eyeball it to make sure that it's, yep, it's all good. I'm going to put a, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. All right, so now is when we need the, no, we don't need the spacer yet. We need to peel this tape. The tape I'm using is called Miracle Tape. The reason I'm burnishing it is because it's pressure sensitive tape, which means the stronger the pressure that you put on it, the stronger the bond that it has with whatever it's stuck to. So you always want to burnish it so that you get the best adhesive strength possible. Okay. Now this is where your spacer comes into play. All right, so that spacer we made earlier, you're going to take it and you're going to stick it next to the first one. Okay? So that when you put this second one down after you peel all your tape like a genius, I don't know what's happening right now to my brain. I could not begin to have a theory about what is going on with my brain. Okay, so you stick that there, and then you line this one up with the first one and press it down. I could not donate my hair because my hair was color treated and damaged from that, so it was really gross. Okay. Now we do this one, so we need to add another line of tape. And I'm literally starting to panic that we don't have enough paper for some reason. Ugh. Yeah, the other part of the reason that I got rid of my hair was, for those of you who remember when my hair was burned off, and they burned my scalp and all of that, like, I just wanted to get rid of any of that was left so that I could start fresh with untouched hair and start doing bizarre things to it like normal. Okay, so get your spacer, put your spacer in, and then line this up and stick it down. Peel it out. Oh. Peel the tape off your last piece. And use your spacer even though you've marked the end, just in case. All right. We did it. We did it. Okay, so this is how this works. See? There's your easel. Got the idea now. Okay. So, now we have some other stuff to do. We have to cover all of these with tape now. Maybe I'll do a selfie. We'll see. My hair is currently not done, so maybe I'll wait until I get it done. Like, we just did it. Ourselves. So, but I am going to be in November getting it dyed and sort of shaped to look by a professional person. So that's when I'll do it. How's that? How's that? I'll do it in November. Tiny cat, stop eating garbage off the floor. Ugh. Tiny, 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 tiny. It's very annoying that you're eating garbage off the floor. Tiny is hungry. She found some piece of plastic somewhere and she's just chewing it because she likes the noise. You're hoping we'll forget. Well, I'm getting it done because my sister's getting married in November. So that's what I'm getting it done specifically for that. So even if I didn't post photos, she would probably post photos and tag me in them. So fear not. Fear not. Now we do have some problems we're going to have to address with some Tyvek peeling on the other side, but I will figure that out because of where some of the Tyvek cardstock seams fell. So it might be better to do 9, 12, 9 instead of 12, 10, 8. And that way your seams will be in a better position. So let's just do that. Do on yours, do 9, 12, 9 with your cardstock. Okay. It's too late for me to do that, but you still can. You still can. Okay. Ugh. Now, burnish all this tape. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What? Tiny. What? Oh! What is happening? Buddy. Yeah, what happened just now? You want... Hey. Hey, what's going on? Here, watch your feet. Watch your feet. Be careful. Why don't you go in your house? Huh? Why don't you go in your cat house? All right, now you've got to do the corners for this the same as you would do the corners for any other like box. Okay. So use your perfect trim tool or whatever it is that you use. And then peel all your tape. And we are going to start working to transform this into an easel. 0.0625 is the corner that I find almost all chipboards that we use in crafting fall into. Okay. Now, this is the same as any other cover. It's just longer, so don't worry. So, I've got it up on my shoulder. It may hit the microphone. If it does, I'm sorry. And I've got my bone folder underneath it so I can start getting it to come up. And you want it to come up and stick to the side of the chipboard, like this. Okay. Now, once it's sticking to the side of the chipboard, starting here is where you want to stick it down. And then kind of go out from there. Okay. So start at a crack. Okay. And then go to your next crack. And go back from the crack. Okay. And then you can just finish it off. All right. This is glue from earlier that the bone folder left. Okay. All right. Same thing, other side. Gonna just start underneath it. Get the cardstock to come up, crease against that corner on underneath. And then once you've done that, get it to stand up. I really wish this would stop sticking to me. And then start bending it over. Okay. And then starting in your crack again, press it down. And then go to your next crack and press it down. And then last crack, press it down. Okay. Then when you get to the corners, same as any other book, you're going to tuck them in so that the chipboard is wrapped in the cardstock. And then get this edge folded over. flip it around, tuck the corners, get underneath, and then flip it over. And burnish. Okay. Now, this is its final form. However, magnets are not as strong as I would like them to be. Just gonna I'm just going in the seams. So here's where we have our problem piece, which is that this seam is right on the edge. That's why I said you should not do 12, 10, 8, but 9, 12, 9. So this is a 12-inch by 10.5-inch piece of cardstock. This is a 10-inch by 10.5-inch piece of cardstock, and this is an 8-inch by 10.5-inch piece of cardstock. And so instead of doing 12, 10, 8, I want you to do 9, 12, 9. I think that's going to be the better way. Yeah, I think we may need 3 magnets aside. And what I'm probably going to end up doing is just adding magnets on the outside, or the outside of this one, and covering it with pattern paper. So it'll be 4 magnets. Well, it is actually sticking, but I want it to be more. So see I have this crack. This is just kind of annoying that I have to deal with it. And this is just my own fault because that's of where I put my crack. So in a second, I will get the book and write the new measurements. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Scotch Quick Dry and hope that that gets me what I want. And just keep going over it and over it and over it until it kind of sticks down. Okay, so I'm going to set this one aside for now and let it dry. And I'll get the pad and write the new measurements in the pad. So, all right. So the previous measurements were 3 12 by 10.5, which you can still do that. And then it was 3 of 10 by 10.5. Oh, excuse me. And 3 8 by 10.5. We're going to switch those out for 6 that are 9 inches by 10.5. And you'll use 2 per, okay? 2 per. So now the cardstock you need to wrap is 3 12 by 10.5 and 6 9 by 10.5. All right. What I'm going to do in hopes of not having this problem again. Hi, Tiny. Oh my gosh. What is happening? What is happening? What is happening? You're upside down. Your brains are gonna fall out. Aww. I stopped petting you. I have to work. Okay? I have to work. I'm sorry. Okay. This tape experiment may actually have worked. This piece seems to be really well stuck down compared to the other two. So maybe you should do the masking tape. All right. Oh, I used the Mr. Pen tape to tape the seams while it dried to hold the two pieces of tape down and together, or to the pieces of cardstock. You need that 8.5 by 11 to make the easel. You can't have an easel with just one side. It's got to be a triangle. So that's why you have to use two 8.5 by 11s. One of the 8.5 by 11s, and the back of the folio is Craftex. The back of the folio is Craftex. Okay. So you're attaching the first 8.5 by 11 to the back of the folio, which is a piece of Craftex. And then you pull the next 8.5 by 11 out and you take that, like those smaller pieces, and you wrap them underneath, and that makes the easel. But if you didn't have the back, the Craftex is not strong enough. It would just collapse. Okay, I'm going to turn this around the other way. And see what that looks like. If I start on the smaller side, if that will help me out, since I don't want to remake these, but I also don't want to have cracks on all of them. Yep, this works totally fine. So that saves me. I'm going to do 3 magnets on this one. So this piece is 8.5. So the first I'm going to draw a line at 4 1/4. And then 1 1/2. And then, yeah, this paper I just reversed, so I can still use it. So if you wanted to keep the original measurements, or if you already started and you already made them and they're drying somewhere, you can still use them. I do have 1-inch magnets, and if 3 magnets isn't enough, we can try 1-inch magnets on the next one. We'll just keep having fun with magnets. Until we find a combination that works. I mean, I'm sure like 3 1-inch magnets would work. But let's see if we can find the minimum magnets that work. Because 1-inch magnets are expensive. Expensive. So if we don't have to use them, that would be cool. Okay. Let's put down our magnets. Yeah. All my drawers are labeled, but I still open 3 every time. 'Cause that's what I do. Well, the cardstock has to cover the magnets. Because otherwise there's nothing to wrap the chipboard. Oh, wait, Candy, that's a good point. Candy says the purpose of the Tyvek was so that it wouldn't tear. Okay. You cannot do the original measurements. You need to stick with the 9, 12, 9. Because yes, thank you, Candy. Candy said that if you just do it, turn it around like I turned it around, then the Tyvek won't be in the seams. And the Tyvek is to keep them from tearing keep it from tearing when you're opening and closing the easel all the time. So, yeah. Yeah. I'm just going to have to deal. So when you do, I don't know how to, this is what you will do. Do the 9-inch 9. But you'll need to adjust your Tyvek to where the seams are. So you'll have to take some kind of temporary tape to stick the cardstocks to each other until the chipboard's on them. Once the chipboard's on them, the tape on the chipboard will hold the cardstocks together. And then you put the Tyvek, set this down, mark a line, and then cover the line with Tyvek. Does that make sense? Or Fran said you could do Tyvek on the seams with the cardstock and wherever you have a chipboard. So do extra Tyvek. I don't think you need to do extra Tyvek. I think you can just temporarily stick it together. So instead of having these Tyvek joints in between the cardstock sheets, just take your masking tape and tape your cardstock sheets together. Then put your tape all over it. Then hold this up, see where it's going to land. Go, okay, here is where I need to stick a Tyvek. And then do that. Okay. And that should work. We could do one like that. Let's try doing one like that. Let's see what happens. Because I don't have to wait for Tyvek to dry. So it might be fine. So what I say, 9, 12, 9. All right. Let's see it with 9, 12, 9. Watch it go together in like 12 seconds with no drama. And now I'm just going to have to be pissed that I spent all that time this afternoon trying to figure it out. All right, 9, 12, 9. So, I'm going to take my drafting tape and we're going to use it to temporarily stick these together. If this works, at least your thing won't be covered in glue and Ellen will get her wish to not have to use glue. Because this afternoon she was like, is there a way to not use glue? And I was like, I don't know. But maybe, Ellen, maybe your wish from this afternoon will come true. Okay. Now. Okay, so there's that. All right, so now we're gonna make our marks. I'm making my mark. All right, so now that I've made my marks, so I know where to line everything up, the next thing I'm gonna do is cover this with tape, with the 2-inch tape all the way around the outside. And because my tape is kind of torn, I'm gonna let it go over the edge. And then we'll put this 2-inch tape on the seams as well. All right. Now, I'm gonna trim the tape because it's kind of getting stuck on some stuff. Okay. Now we need to cut the Tyvek for where we need Tyvek. So I'm gonna cut a few strips. I'm gonna need 3 strips of Tyvek. And I'm gonna make them 3 inches. All right. And let me trim this corner. And since the tape is now holding it together on the other side, I'm going to peel this. These group projects for YouTube are probably, because of all my mistakes, more educational than the projects where I make the mistakes off camera. Look at all the ways you've learned to fix problems tonight. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover the rest of this with tape. That way, wherever the Tyvek ends up, it'll be covered. And I won't have to put any tape on the chipboard this way either, so yeah. Oh, from the world's strongest washi tape? Okay. Burnish all your tape. And then peel it all up. Tape mummy. Happy Halloween. Happy first day of Halloween. Yes, you can just use a long piece of Tyvek instead of cardstock. If you have a big piece of Tyvek, you can just use it. The whole reason I did it like this was just to show the people who don't have big piece of Tyvek, who use like the envelopes or the sheets, how to do it. So that you wouldn't have to have the big sheet in order to do it. But if you have the big sheet, yeah, you could just use the big sheet of Tyvek to wrap the whole thing. Okay. All right. Now, hover this over so you're going to know where you need to put your Tyvek. So I need to put the Tyvek needs to cover this piece of tape. So it needs to cover the third tape over from the folded tape. All right. Now, did I get, yeah, okay. All right. Cover the Tyvek in tape. Okay. And that's it. We're ready to stick down our first one, which is the 11-inch with the magnets. All right, there's our Tyvek. So now we just need to see where our next Tyvek piece will go, which is this one, which is the 1, 2, 3, fourth one in from the edge. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to flip it over and trim. Okay. All right, now get your thingy, your spacer, stick it down. Pull it back out. Piece number 2 is down. So now piece number 3, we have to figure out where its Tyvek goes. We need to cover this one. All right. Now this piece, I want to make sure it's well inside the line by at least 1/8 of an inch because I don't want it to be a crack. All right. Well, that didn't work. Well, no, it's fine. I just need to put a little piece of tape right here on this edge and I'll be okay. Okay, now put your spacer. Put your 3-inch piece. Put your spacer. Put your 2-inch piece. Done. Okay. Man, my neck is killing me for some reason today. Probably from being hunched over doing all the pattern paper. Don't the magnets go down on the last piece? They do. It couldn't have just been perfect. That's why you got to write this side up. We had to have some drama. All right. Burnish your pieces in place. Now, let's stick it together. And let me just be infuriated by how easily it comes together. Okay. Oh my gosh, my neck. Something is messed up in my neck. Ugh. Tiny Cat must have cursed me because of all the work I made her do this afternoon. She put a spell on me. Okay, let's start wrapping. It is October 2020. It's true. It's the first day of Halloween. So there's like a creepy moon. Tiny Cat has been acting weird all day. All right. Okay. Nice. Press down at the next one. I'm going to just tear here so I can stick these two pieces down separate from each other. It'll just be a little bit easier to get them stuck down. All right, now we flip it around. Ellen, I think you're gonna get your wish. I think it's gonna be totally possible for you. All right. Now we just have to tuck the corners in and do the ends, and this piece is done. If you have this, something like where you get something exposed like this, you can just fill it in with black ink. And then tuck your corner, tuck your corner. Yeah, it's been a long time. Okay. All right, now start testing your seams, finding where they are, and then once you know where they are, kind of gently burnish in there, okay? And then find your next one, and then gently burnish. Gently burnish. And then find your last one. And gently burnish. This is just to get the, you're basically scoring so that it's, this is so annoying. Just make 2 more like it. Yeah, 3 magnets is working well. 3 magnets is working well. So I think 3 magnets on each side. And then just give it a little squeeze so that it kind of learns to like bend in this direction, learns that you know that this is where you want it to bend. But look, look, look. Look, it's done. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you how to line this. So, because you just need something on the inside. Right, let's think this through. What's the inside? What's the outside? So when they're in the book like this. Okay. So this is how it will be. So this is the outside that we've made, okay? This is the outside. So the way that the book will work is when you open the book, it'll look like this. All right? And then you'll pull this away and tuck it under. And then you'll be able to put it on your table. And then they're all going to be attached to one piece of craft text with an inch in between them. So you'll be able to bend them you'll be able to bend them to have it give you that triptych look where it looks like 3 distinct panels. So the only thing we need to do now is cover the inside with something so that it just looks black. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut an 8 1/4 by 12 inch piece of cardstock. And we're simply going to put it like this. Okay. And put it like this. And then we'll, you know, cut another piece to go here and then finally a piece to go here. So I'm going to start with this piece. This is 12 inches by 8 1/4. And the grain should be on in this direction because that's how it's going to fold in the book. All right. So I'm going to put 2 inch tape all the way around it. And then eight and a quarter by 12. Okay. And then I'm going to take a piece of tape. Let me get this thing back. On the joints, you just need to run tape on both edges of every joint. That way when the paper bends, it doesn't bend away from the You don't need bigger than 3/8 inch tape. I'm just trying to use this roll up, so that's why I grabbed it. 3/8 inch will be fine. It's just to keep the paper stuck to the, or it's to keep the paper stuck to the chipboard on the joints so it doesn't lift away. But yeah, 3/8 is fine. It's not nearly as structural as some of the other things we've done tonight. I mean, it is structural and it does matter. Do not skip it. But, you know. And then I'll draw you a picture of what it'll look like when you're looking down on it from the top at the end, so you can get an idea of what they'll look like when they're all stuck together. You son of a... Okay. I thought it was stuck. I was about to really be mad. Okay. Yeah, although, have you ever seen concrete without rebar? It's so... It's like what it does. It's so interesting. Okay. So, get it on the end pressed into place. And then you're going to take your bone folder, okay, and push it in. Push it into the gap, okay? Get it down in there because you want it to have a little bit more room. And then keep going until you get to the next gap and push it, kind of push it down. And like, don't force it. You're not trying to like tear it or anything, but you know, get it in there. And then you can just finish it the rest of the way. So, and then you just want to kind of work it back and forth. Get it used to being friends. Kind of help it out gently. Okay. But the more you can encourage the pieces of cardstock to stick to each other, the better. All right, so you want to get these dents. You do want these big dents like this. So once again, the way it'll be in the book is this will be up here. What we didn't consider is how this is going to get held up here. And this is why down here, this is why we needed to do 4 layers thick. Because that's how much space you need to have this bend back on itself like this, okay? Yeah, we have to figure out how we're gonna... What we can do is put magnets here and cover them with pattern paper. Should I put them there now so I don't forget that I said we would do that? I probably should. I probably should. That would probably be smart, right? That sounds like something that I would be happy I did. Okay. Hi, May. Okay, so then fold this back and press it down. And then you can pull it away. All right, there. Now it's going to stay. Okay. It's actually coming together. Oh my gosh. I'm just going to cover these with tape so they don't get knocked off at some point before we get them covered with pattern paper. All right. And again, you're going to need to work this gently, you know, back and forth. And then just like going back and forth. Back and forth. All right, so now we'll do another 12 inch by 8 1/4 inch piece, and then we'll just tack a little piece on the end to cover it up, and then this will be done. This will be done. You had no doubts. Well, you know, when I started this project, I had no doubts. Then I had a lot of doubts, but now I'm okay again. So I was like, this is going to be so fun. You've made easels before. No big deal. Here we are. Here we are. All right. Yeah, we'll just need like a little 4-inch piece. We have plenty of those kicking around from earlier. Like that one. All right, so once again, 2 inches all the way around on this one. We already have the tape on either side of the gap, but make sure you do have tape on either side of the gap. All right, so now I'm going to put the tape on here, or burnish the tape and then peel the tape. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to I'm going to do all 3 of them like this. I'll just do the other 2 off camera. Like I'll do it over the weekend so that next class they're done. That way they all look the same. All right. And they don't look like a deranged maniac made some of them. All right, so gonna push until I find my gap. And then just kind of go back and forth so that there's cardstock down in the gap, and then burnish the rest of it. And then kind of fold it. And then go, you know, over the back here, press them together. Do not crack your cardstock. This is a gentle thing, okay? This is a gentle thing. All right, and then for this last little bit, we just need 8 1/4 by 3 1/2. Yeah, very light pressure. Very light pressure. I'll just do 3 1/4 or 3 3/4. And then I'll just overlap this one on this one so I don't have to worry about these seams meeting up. All right. But yeah, do not put too much pressure on it, because if you put too much, you're just trying to train it. You're not trying to force it. You don't want to tear the cardstock. It's not, you can come back from it, but like it's better if you don't have to. But if you do happen to tear the cardstock, you can just throw some glue inside the tear and then just kind of lightly go over the tear until the tear glues shut. So if you do tear it, there's totally a fix. It's not the end of the world. You don't have to start over. But try not to tear it. Be gentle with it, you know. All right, it's done. Oh, now 3, not strong enough. Okay. Well, we're just gonna have to use the 1-inchers, I think. What I'm going to do is see if this one's salvageable by putting another row of magnets on it. Like if the yes. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these magnets here on the inside. And that way I don't have to remake this one. Because I don't want to remake this one. And then we'll just put a piece, like a decorative something to cover them. And we'll just put like a border strip or something on them. And then they should be fine. Okay. You could absolutely do Velcro if you don't want to mess with magnets. Absolutely. Velcro, absolutely an option. Yep. Velcro might be the better answer. But in this case, just because the magnets have really been fighting me. I'll make one with 1-inch magnets, and maybe we'll see if that's just what it needs. But it's not the end of the world to use another row of magnets, because that just increases the force of the magnets. So all good. It's all good. All right. So let's see. Oh, here. I must have torn this little guy. So all you do if this happens, just take your Scotch Quick Dry or whatever your favorite glue is, and you just stick it in there. And you just push it back together. I wonder if these magnets, what is going on with my camera? My camera is going insane. But only on my monitor. Well, no, now it's showing up. Okay, well, the video is having a meltdown, and that's, I mean, we were done anyways, so I'm just going to call it here. This is just what I need. This is just what I need. I'm done for the night. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. These videos will be available on YouTube, all of them, all the way through the project. So, look for them. They'll be coming out over the course of the week. And they'll all be up before next Thursday. They'll all be up before next Thursday. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.